Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Monday, July 18th. And the Power Veto meeting is today, but we got a lot of other stuff to talk about because the last time I talked to you was Saturday morning. And obviously, when I talked to you then, the Power Veto competition hadn't even been held. So let's get to that, all right? We'll summarize what I've done this weekend after we're through all the Big Brother stuff if we have time. So, Power Veto competition was held on Saturday. I honestly don't have any details about what it was yet. It's my fault for not digging too deep. But what we do know is the important stuff, which is that Michael won it. So Michael has now won the first 2 Power Veto competitions. Short and sweet, I don't think Michael is going to use the Power Veto. He has mulled it over a couple of times. There has been talk about him possibly doing it. But in the end, it really does seem like Pooch is still at the top of the list to go, with Taylor being the alternate if, they change their minds. I don't think Taylor's going to go. I really do think Pooch is going to be the one end up going. But we got to get past the Power Veto meeting today before we lock in those 2 names as being the for sure. There is always the chance that Michael might use it and change that up. I don't think he's going to, though. A lot of stuff has gone on. A little bit of scheming and not scheming, but alliances are solidifying a little bit. I'm still waiting for another couple of days before I start to say, well, this is this and this is. I'll wait and see how things flesh out. Jasmine has been definitely. I kind of am a little bit torn about this. Everybody is complaining about her sitting around acting like a queen and people treating her like a queen. Now, she has been, but she's also got they diagnosed it, and she has, I guess, a 3rd-degree sprain. I'm not a medical person, but I know a couple on the internet that commented that that's a pretty damn severe sprain, all things considered. Like, that's, I guess, 3rd is worse than 2nd, which is worse than 1st. So 3rd degree. There was some camera angles where you could see her ankle, and there is some fairly decent bruising around her ankle. And they did wrap it with they didn't put her in a boot, but they did wrap it with a compression wrap, whatever you call it, one of those that lace up around your ankle to kind of keep it immobile. And of course, she got the squeaky wheel scooter Friday, which they managed to slip into Friday's or into last night's show, and then she dropped the nomination thing. I mean, that was wow. Yeah, it was last night's episode. I was, as somebody pointed out to me, I guess they had the time on it, like 32 minutes of that head of household competition. They were really struggling to find something to talk about between the end of the end of the head of household competition and nominations. See, that ended. The head of household competition ended like 3 a.m. or midnight, Big Brother time, and nominations were after they had slept, and then a few hours after that. So there wasn't a whole lot of time. Although Jasmine talked with a lot of people, but the whole time along, it was pretty solidified that she was going to nominate Taylor and Pooch, so they didn't have a lot to work with, I think, to put up, who might it be, or, yeah. So what I was getting back to when I started with Jasmine getting everyone's screaming about Jasmine laying around all the time. Well, what is she supposed to do? She really is supposed to keep off her foot and keep it elevated, and that's what she's doing, but that just leads itself to constant pictures of Jasmine sitting around with her foot up. Now, she has been a bit of a, oh, take care of me, oh, do this, and there was one video clip out there of her asking Taylor to make her something. I don't know if Taylor may have kind of volunteered, or it was Nicole. Was it Nicole or Taylor? I don't remember which it was. I was thinking it was Taylor, because anything that that gets a lot of attention, but it may have been Nicole because Nicole's a chef, but I can't remember now. I'll have to go back and look. But just suffice it to say that it was, I think it was Taylor. She asked Taylor to make her shrimp and rice. And then in the retell, she told people that Taylor was asking if she could do this for her. So it's one of those, Jasmine is really getting, she's getting labeled as one of those house guests that just drives everybody insane, and that people just keep a running list of all the things that she's done, the inaccuracies. So see how well that does for her later on. What else? Let me think. You know what? I realize that it's been since Saturday, but that's the long and the short of it until we get to the part where they got alcohol last night. And I mean, yesterday was a sun and fun laundry day, and there was some, that's what I said. There's these alliances are solidifying. These talkings are going back and forth. There's people checking in with each other. But again, for the most part, they've settled on Pooch and Taylor, with Pooch being the target. And so the game talk isn't quite as hot and heavy as it could be. But they got alcohol last night. And we didn't think they really got that much, relatively speaking. It may have been 2 bottles of wine. I don't know if there was 1 bottle of wine and a couple cans of beer and something, that maybe a White Claw or 2 or something. But it just didn't look like that much for 15 people. But it was enough to get some of them feeling a little bit loose lips, tipsy, and all this and that. And the biggest takeaway that I got from that was, Taylor, on a couple of different things. Taylor was apologizing to some of the girls, saying that she originally had come in and was going to try to work with all the girls, but she knows, this is the way she said it, and maybe she didn't feel that way necessarily, but it's what she said to the girls, and maybe because she was nominated last week, but she said, it didn't go as I planned. I wanted to work with the girls and kind of have a girls' alliance, and I'm sorry if I put you guys off, or now again, maybe Taylor doesn't feel that she put the girls off, but that's the sense that she got since she got nominated the first week. So it may be damage control more than it is reality or her realization or all that. But she did say it. The other thing that she said, though, on a couple of different occasions, and I need to go back and see some of this, and I'll tell you, Joker's Update is the site that I glanced through really quick this morning from the overnight, and that's where I saw some of this. Is Taylor seems to be kind of crushing on Daniel. Like, she likes Daniel. She said at one point she'd kiss Daniel. This was the alcohol saying, I just want to kiss someone. I just want to make out with someone, kind of a thing. I mean, it's like, whoa, Taylor, saying Daniel. And the whoa, Taylor, why are you saying Daniel thing comes about for me mostly because Daniel has been persona non grata by a big chunk of the Taylor fandom. Like, people that are big fans of Taylor, because Daniel has said that I knew she was trouble from the start. He was claiming that earlier this week he's been saying since Paloma's gone, Taylor is just following me around from room to room and I can't get away from her. And there's a bunch of people that are like, that's not true, Daniel. She's not following you. She's not hanging around you. And I think that's kind of accurate that she isn't following him. But I also now realize, I think Daniel senses that Taylor may have a bit of a crush on him, and that's kind of more what he's commenting on, that he can just get that vibe from Taylor, that Taylor kind of likes me. And that's what's bothering Daniel. I don't know if it's bothering him because Daniel doesn't like her, or because he realizes that she's a big target in the house and he doesn't want to get associated with her. Because she's potentially a problem. Anyways, I'm waiting to see how the Big Brother community takes to that news that just dropped last night, or if they choose to ignore it. But it was kind of obvious in the last few hours, at least on for Joker's updates. Whoever was updating that was quoting it, and I'm going to be curious to see what people say, how they handle that, if they even make the connection that I just made about the fact that Daniel was complaining about it, and now it turns out Taylor kind of has at least a little bit of a crush on him. She said specifically, at least again, assuming that the person who was writing for Joker's updates at the time is correct, that she generally dates men that are over 35. Daniel is 35, I think. And so it was just, I'm still stupefied a little bit about all this happening. It was like, whoa, okay. Yeah. So, I don't know. It's going to be funny if that comes out in the next couple of days. If CBS chose to run with it, they have plenty of opportunity to find clips of Daniel going like, Taylor is following me around, and then having Taylor going, I kind of like Daniel. That would be an amazing little segment to put together. If they don't put it together, it's because they're choosing not to. So, anyways, that was my big whoa moment from the last 24 hours of the live feeds. So I was a fairly light live feed viewer this weekend as far as what was going on. Obviously on Saturday I was busy all day, and I was kind of busy most of the day yesterday. I was checking in and watching, but the times I checked in on the actual live feeds, there wasn't much going on at the time, and obviously last night's stuff was later, happened. It happened late last night, and I'm 3 hours behind. So for me, I'm going to bed at 1 in the morning, and some of this stuff was happening at 3, 2 and 3 in the morning, or later, Eastern time. So it will be interesting today to see if how the fandom reacts to some of this stuff. So I'll be keeping tabs on that, and I guess we can talk about it tomorrow after we talk about the Power Veto meeting. The Power Veto meeting will be again today. Don't expect Michael to use it. I even saw a rumor that the girls are thinking about wanting Taylor to win head of household so that she can target a guy. So I think Taylor's going to be around for a while. Maybe she's, but now it doesn't. That comment doesn't sound like the girls are necessarily aligning with her as much as they are just going to use her because she can do the dirty work for them, and then she can easily get voted out. I will let you know when I start seeing Taylor getting in alliances that are actually legit alliances. Maybe she's just going to play a solo game and play without a real ally for a long time, but manage to get to the end or go to the end and then turn up her athletic ability and win it. I mean, it's not beyond possibilities that she could just play the what I would call a floating game where she goes to the power on whatever it is on each side, but then manages to get to the end. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So, anyways, I also tweeted this weekend, I tweeted a picture of Robin Cass, hunching her shoulders like, I don't know what to tell you about the cast, because I'm not particularly thrilled with anyone on this cast at this point. They've all said things and done things that have been unlikable in some ways. But I'm also kind of wondering, is this just where we've gotten to now, that is the fandom so splintered and the fandom has their own favorites, they can't agree on anyone to like, and they kind of fight with each other. I'm not sure. All right. That all being said, I think we'll do the wrap up. I'll talk about what I did this weekend, and then I'll finish this off because I'm about 5 minutes from the office. So, for me this weekend, I was telling you guys I was going and helping was going with my dad and helping my son pick up a boat that he and his fiancee were getting, and so originally my dad was going to get it, and then he decided to. And we're by the way, we're not talking about billions of dollars here being spent. It's not. These are sailboats, and they're not near as expensive as you might think. What happens with those? They tend to be. The initial investment isn't much, but the maintenance can be, it can cost you a little bit of money if you have to store it somewhere or keep it in the water somewhere, kind of a thing. So the whole point was, that was my entire day. I drove personally 600 miles. I was the one that towed the boat 600 or 300 miles, or that wasn't 300. It was probably, a couple hundred miles. Where is this person going? Oh, you're turning behind me. Okay. Sorry. Squirrel moment with traffic. Anyways, so that was my adventure. That was exhausting. It was a very long day of doing that, and I didn't get home until maybe it was just about midnight or so that night, Saturday night. I did do a Twitch stream. Matter of fact, you could watch that. I did the Twitch stream, and that was cool. So that is out there on Twitch. Some folks helped me stay awake on my drive home. And I will probably try to do a Twitch stream again tonight. We'll see. I used to do them almost every night, but there is a time where I need to just decompress on the way home. Also, I did have a new patron. Well, it wasn't a new patron. A patron re-signed up. They'd taken a break and they came back, so that was cool. So I got another patrons back in the fold, and that was good to see. So it's appreciated. I am going to give my patrons a shout out. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. I am also going to be on vacation this week. I'm taking my couple of my kids and my wife. The four of us are going on a little mini vacation, but I will still be watching Big Brother. I'll still be talking about Big Brother. That's not gonna. It's not gonna interfere with my Big Brother stuff. Isn't gonna go away because we're going on a trip. I'll still be able to do all that. So I'll check in with you guys. And yeah. So is that it? Is that all I got for today? I think it kind of is. I'm just really, really interested in this Taylor likes Daniel storyline. I'm really intrigued. I want to see how it... I'm intrigued on multiple levels. I've already explained it, but I just really am. That I'm intrigued on the... how is CBS going to handle it? How... If they are at all, they may completely ignore it. But I'm intrigued on how the fandom is going to handle it. Because there was some serious... well, first of all, Daniel has said, I don't like Taylor. And then, Taylor is following me around. And so he's been getting, a bit of grief, not that he knows it, from a chunk of Big Brother fans. And now Taylor's going, I like Daniel. She didn't say that about anybody else as far as I know, in the house. So if there's any chance, which I don't know if there's a chance for a showmance developing on the show, by the way. I don't know. This could happen still. Because I guess there was another thing, too, where Alyssa and Kyle are being perceived as potential showmances on the house. I know that I think Joseph likes Indy. Here I am back talking about Big Brother again. But Indy doesn't have any interest in Joseph. So anyways, circle back around. I just want to see how this Daniel Taylor thing comes out. That'll be my interesting thing to check out today. All right. So with that, Power Veto meeting today. I'm out of here. Have a good Monday. Thanks for listening, and be well, folks. Take care. Bye bye.